There is a unique silence that settles into a home after the grandchildren have left. It isn't a peaceful silence, not at first. It's a quiet filled with echoes. The phantom sounds of their laughter, the memory of their movement through the rooms, and something else. A faint, persistent hum of a screen. It's the silence of a heart that was so full of anticipation, now left holding a quiet ache, a gentle confusion. You feel the deep, unconditional love you have for them welling up inside you, a vast and endless ocean. And yet, you also feel the sting of being unseen, of competing for their attention with a small, glowing rectangle that holds their world captive. It's a strange and lonely feeling to be in a room with the people you love most and to feel as though you are a ghost at your own gathering. The central question that surfaces in this quiet ache is not one of blame or anger, but of deep human longing. How do we find our peace in this new dynamic? How do we continue to offer our love freely without it feeling like a battle for notice? And most importantly, how do we remember our own unshakable worth? A worth that is not measured by the direction of a child's gaze? By the end of our time together tonight, we will have journeyed toward an answer. Not a simple solution, but a deep, internal peace. A way of being that allows you to be the steady, loving presence in their lives, unburdened by the need for a specific kind of attention in return. So let us begin this journey inward, into a space of comfort and understanding. As you settle into your bed, allow your body to begin its nightly ritual of release. Let the first conscious breath you take be a signal to every muscle, every fiber of your being, that the day is now complete. Feel the mattress rising up to meet you, to hold you, to support you completely. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be, except right here, in this sanctuary of rest. Let your attention drift to your shoulders. Notice if they are tense, perhaps drawn up slightly towards your ears, carrying the invisible weight of the day. This is where we often hold our responsibilities, our worries, and the quiet disappointments. It's the place we carry the effort of trying to connect, trying to understand, trying to bridge a gap that feels wider than it should. On your next exhale, give those shoulders permission to soften. Imagine that weight dissolving, melting away like snow in the gentle spring sun. Feel them release their grip, dropping down and away from your ears, creating space in your neck and upper back. With each breath, let them become a little heavier, a little softer, sinking into the support beneath you. This is not about forcing relaxation, but simply allowing it. You are giving your body permission to let go of a burden it was never meant to carry through the night. Now, bring your awareness to your chest, to the space around your heart. This is where that quiet ache often resides. It may feel like a tightness, a heaviness, or just a tender spot. There is no need to analyze it or push it away. For a moment, just acknowledge its presence with kindness. Breathe into that space. Imagine your breath is a warm, gentle light, flowing into your chest, surrounding your heart with compassion and understanding. This feeling is not a weakness. It is a testament to the depth of your love. It hurts because you care so profoundly. Your heart is not broken. It is simply full. With your next out breath, imagine you are releasing some of that pressure, some of that tightness. You are not trying to get rid of the feeling, but to create more space around it, allowing it to be there without overwhelming you. Let the muscles of your chest soften, Let your rib cage expand freely with each inhale and settle completely with each exhale. You are creating a safe harbor within yourself, a place where even difficult feelings can rest without a struggle. The love you feel is vast and powerful, and your heart is strong enough to hold it all. The joy and the quiet sorrow, the connection and the distance. Let your focus now travel down to your hands. Are they clenched, even slightly? Are your fingers curled, holding on to an unspoken thought or a wish for how things could have been different? Our hands want to give, to hold, to build, to share. When that giving feels unseen, they can hold that tension. Gently, consciously, invite your fingers to uncurl. Let your hands lie open and soft at your sides or on your body. Feel the warmth returning to your fingertips. This simple act is a powerful message to your nervous system. It is a gesture of release, of letting go. You are releasing the need to control the situation. You are releasing the story that you must do more or be more to earn their attention. Your open hands signify a state of acceptance. They are still ready to give, but they are no longer grasping. They are at peace. And now, let's create a truly safe and sacred space for your rest tonight. Imagine the boundaries of your room softening. The walls become permeable to peace, but impermeable to worry. Imagine a soft, warm light, perhaps the color of golden hour just before sunset, filling the entire space around you. This light is pure comfort. It is unconditional acceptance. It soothes everything it touches. It wraps around you like the most comforting blanket, holding you in a gentle, secure embrace. In this space, you are completely safe. You are honored. You are seen for exactly who you are, a person of immense worth, with a lifetime of wisdom, experience, and love held within you. This light is a reflection of your own inner light, your own inherent goodness. The intention for our time together tonight is simple and profound. It is not to figure out how to change them or how to compete with the distractions of their world. The intention is to come home to yourself. It is to find a deep and abiding peace with this modern challenge, and in doing so, to rediscover your own unshakable center. It is to remember that your value is not and has never been dependent on anyone else's attention. Your worth is inherent. It is woven into the fabric of your being. It was there in your youth. It has been there through every chapter of your life, and it is here now, glowing steadily, whether anyone is looking at it or not. We are setting an intention to remember this truth so deeply that it becomes the ground you stand on, the air you breathe. Tonight, we are not trying to solve a problem. We are nurturing a soul. We are tending to a heart that loves deeply in a world that is rapidly changing. As you drift deeper into relaxation, allow this intention to settle into your subconscious. The work is not in the striving, but in the allowing. Allowing yourself to be cared for. Allowing yourself to be at peace. Allowing yourself to rest in the powerful, quiet truth of your own magnificent worth. Let this be your anchor as we journey deeper into the healing landscape of sleep. Your only task now is to receive, to soften, and to let go. The rest will unfold naturally, gently, as you drift into the deep, restorative rest you so deeply deserve. In the safety of this quiet space, let's gently turn our attention toward that ache we spoke of. Not with the intention of fixing it or forcing it to go away, but simply to understand its language, to sit with it as you would a dear friend who is hurting, offering only your quiet, compassionate presence. Let's begin by naming what truly hurts. If we are honest with ourselves, beneath the surface of the mild frustration or the polite smile, there is often a deeper, more vulnerable feeling. It is the quiet whisper of irrelevance. It's a feeling that can creep in so subtly, you might not even notice it at first. It's the sense that the world you have so much wisdom about, the world of scraped knees and climbing trees, of board games and long conversations, has been quietly archived, replaced by a new, digital universe that you weren't given a map for. You see the ones you love navigating this new world with a fluency that feels foreign, their attention and excitement captured by things you cannot see or share. And in that moment, a painful question can arise in the heart. Am I becoming obsolete? This feeling is not a judgment on you. It is not a fact. It is a natural human response to profound change. It's the feeling of being a well-loved, handcrafted wooden toy in a room suddenly filled with flashing, buzzing electronics. The wooden toy has lost none of its value, its warmth, its history, or its sturdiness. It is still beautiful and capable of bringing immense joy. But its purpose feels questioned. The hands that once reached for it are now occupied elsewhere, and so it sits, quietly waiting, holding the memory of a different kind of play. There is a deep, quiet grief in that waiting. Allow yourself to acknowledge this feeling without shame, the feeling of being replaced, not in their hearts, never in their hearts, but in their moments. And sometimes, the moments are all we have. Alongside this feeling of irrelevance comes something even more potent, because it is so personal. It is the deep, sharp pain of feeling dismissed. This isn't the dismissal of a stranger, which is easy enough to brush off. This is the sting of being overlooked by the very people whose faces you have studied since birth, whose small hands you held as they learned to walk. To offer a story, a piece of your life, and to see their eyes drift back to the glow of the screen. It can feel like a small death. It's a silent message that can be misinterpreted by the heart as, what you have to say is not as important as this. What you are offering is not as interesting as this. And that hurts. It hurts because your offering is not just a story. It is your love, made into words. It is your legacy, offered one small piece at a time. It is your soul reaching out to connect. When that connection is met with divided attention, it feels like a door gently closing in your face. There may be no malice behind it, no conscious intent to wound. And yet, the impact is the same. It creates a sense of loneliness that is profound, the loneliness of being unheard. Let yourself feel the truth of this pain without minimizing it. Don't tell yourself, I shouldn't feel this way, or it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. Your desire to be seen and heard by those you love is one of the most fundamental, beautiful, and valid human needs. The pain you feel is a direct measure of the love you hold. It is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that your heart is awake, alive, and deeply invested. It is the price of loving so completely. And this leads us to the deepest layer of this ache. It is the quiet, unspoken grief for the version of grandparenthood you had dreamed of. Each of us carries within us a picture, a silent movie of how we thought things would be. Perhaps your picture included baking together, the kitchen filled with flour and laughter, passing down a recipe that was passed down to you. Perhaps it was sitting on a porch swing, sharing stories from your youth, feeling their rapt attention as they learned about a world before they existed. Maybe it was teaching them a skill, how to garden, how to fish, how to sew, how to build something with their hands. These are not just activities. They are rituals of connection. They are the ways we weave the threads of our lives into the fabric of the next generation. And when the reality looks different, when the moments for these rituals are scarce, replaced by the solitary glow of individual screens, it is natural to feel a sense of loss. It is a grief for a dream. It's mourning the connection you envisioned, the role you expected to play. It is vital to allow yourself to witness this grief without judgment. It doesn't mean you're ungrateful for the moments you do have. It doesn't mean you don't love your grandchildren exactly as they are. It simply means that a part of your heart had a beautiful, tender hope, and the reality of this modern world has not quite matched it. Naming this grief is not an act of complaint. It is an act of profound self-compassion. You are allowing your heart to be honest about its hopes and its hurts. Think of it like this. You planned a beautiful garden. You pictured the flowers that would bloom, the paths you would walk together, the scent of the blossoms in the air. But the climate has changed unexpectedly. The soil is different. Some of the seeds you planted haven't sprouted in the way you expected. You can still love the garden. You can still find beauty in the plants that are thriving. But it is also okay to feel a pang of sadness for the specific blossoms you dreamed of, but which have not appeared. This sadness does not negate the beauty that is present. It simply acknowledges the hope that was held. So tonight, as you rest here in this safe and quiet space, give yourself permission to simply name these things. The feeling of being replaced, the pain of being dismissed, the grief for the dream you held in your heart. You don't need to do anything about them. The simple, courageous act of looking at them with a gentle and understanding gaze is the beginning of all healing. You are bearing witness to your own heart. You are saying to yourself, I see you. I understand why you hurt. And it's okay. You are allowed to feel this. This acknowledgement is a soothing balm. It stops the internal struggle, the fight against your own feelings. It allows a great deep calm to begin settling over you, the calm that comes from telling the truth, especially to yourself. In this truth, there is peace, and in this peace, there is rest. As we settle more deeply into this state of rest, let's explore the nature of the space that seems to exist between your world and theirs. It can feel like more than just a difference in interests. It can feel like a vast, generational canyon. On one side of this canyon is your world, a world built on tangible experiences, on conversations that unfolded face to face, on a rhythm of life that was slower, quieter, and perhaps more connected to the physical earth. It's a world where knowledge was passed down through stories, where entertainment was created through imagination and interaction, and where relationships were nurtured through shared presence, often without the need for constant activity. Your memories are stored not in a cloud, but in the scent of a particular flower, the texture of a worn-out book, the melody of a song on the radio. This world is rich, deep, and filled with a wisdom that comes from navigating life with a different set of tools. On the other side of the canyon is their world. It is a world of breathtaking speed and infinite information. It's a landscape of digital streams, of instant global communication, of friendships maintained through text and images, and of identities shaped in online spaces. Their language is one of memes, of viral trends, of games that create entire universes. Their memories are captured in pixels, and shared with a single click. It is not a world devoid of connection, but the nature of that connection is fundamentally different. It is faster, wider, and sometimes it can seem shallower to an outside eye, even if it feels deeply meaningful to them. To stand on your side and look across can feel overwhelming. The gap can seem so wide, so filled with a strange and buzzing noise, that the idea of crossing it feels impossible. You might feel as though you don't have the right equipment, the right language, or the right map to even begin the journey. Let's validate this feeling completely. The sense that this gap is vast is not an exaggeration. It's a real and understandable perception based on a profound and unprecedented shift in human culture. No generation in history has experienced a technological leap of this magnitude in such a short period. Your feelings of confusion or distance are not a personal failing. They are a sign that you are perceptive. You are noticing the tectonic plates of culture shifting beneath your feet. It is okay to feel a sense of vertigo. It is okay to feel that the bridge to their world seems fragile, or that you don't know how to build one. You are standing in a moment of history that is genuinely new, and it is natural to feel a little lost at sea. So let go of any self-criticism that says you should understand it all, or that you should be able to connect more easily. Simply acknowledge the reality of the divide with a gentle acceptance. It is what it is. Within this feeling of distance lies a silent, powerful wish. It's a wish that is as old as humanity itself. It is the deep, innate desire to pass on what you know. This is not about ego or wanting to be the center of attention. It is a fundamental impulse of love. It is the desire to pass on your stories, not just as entertainment, but as maps of survival, as lessons in resilience, as evidence of a life lived with meaning. Your stories hold the echoes of your triumphs, the wisdom gleaned from your mistakes, the texture of your joys, and the strength you discovered in your sorrows. They are the jewels of your life, polished over decades, and you hold them out, wanting to share their light, to offer their warmth. It's also the wish to pass on your wisdom, not as lectures or sermons, but as a living presence. The wisdom of patience, learned through years of watching seasons change. The wisdom of perspective, gained from seeing crises come and go. The wisdom of unconditional love, practiced through all the messy, beautiful complexities of family life. This wisdom isn't something you can write in a manual or teach in a lesson. It is embodied in who you are, in the calm in your voice, in the steadiness of your gaze, in the comfort of your presence. And there is a part of you that aches for them to draw from this well, to find nourishment and stability in what you have become through your long journey. You want to offer them this anchor in a world that feels so anchorless. And finally, it is the wish to pass on your legacy. Not a legacy of material things, but the legacy of identity. The knowledge of where they come from, the stories of their great-grandparents, the struggles and joys of the family that came before them. You are the keeper of these memories. You are the living bridge to their past. You hold the thread that connects them to a story so much bigger than their own individual lives. To feel that this thread is not being grasped, that these stories are being lost in the digital noise, can feel like a profound and sorrowful responsibility. You are not just trying to get their attention. You are trying to give them their roots. So, let's reframe this feeling. The ache you feel when they are absorbed in their screens is not a sign of your failure to be interesting. It is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. Understand this deeply. That feeling of longing, that ache to connect across the divide, is the most beautiful evidence of your profound and unending love. It is the physical, emotional manifestation of your desire to nurture, to protect, and to gift them with the very best of yourself. It is love in its purest, most selfless form. It is the heart of a grandparent reaching, always reaching, toward the future. Think of yourself as a great old tree standing on the edge of that canyon. Your roots run deep into the soil of the past, drawing up nourishment from generations of history. Your trunk is weathered and strong, marked with the patterns of droughts and storms you have survived. Your branches are full of leaves that whisper stories in the wind. You stand there, offering shade, shelter, and the quiet wisdom of your endurance. The world on the other side of the canyon may be fast and bright, full of new and exotic plants. But you are the ancient tree. Your purpose is not to race or to flash, but to be, to stand, to offer a different kind of nourishment. The fact that you long for them to come and rest in your shade, to learn from your deep-rooted strength, is not a weakness. It is the very essence of your beautiful purpose. And whether they seem to notice you today or not, your presence shapes the landscape. Your roots prevent erosion. Your existence makes their world more stable, whether they consciously understand it or not. The ache is simply your love, calling out across the distance. And there is nothing more honorable or more natural than that. As you rest here, wrapped in the quiet of the night, let this next truth settle over you like a warm, weighted blanket. You are not alone in this. Let that sink in for a moment. The feeling you are experiencing, this specific blend of deep love, quiet confusion, and a touch of heartache, is not unique to you. It is not a sign that there is something wrong with your family, or that you have failed in some way. Right now, in this very moment, as you are listening to these words, there are countless other grandparents lying awake in their beds, in homes all across the world, wrestling with this very same feeling. They are in quiet suburban houses, bustling city apartments, and peaceful country homes. They speak different languages, come from different cultures, but their hearts are asking the same questions as yours. Imagine them for a moment. A grandmother in Italy who has just finished clearing the plates from a big family dinner, feeling a pang as she watched her teenage grandson scroll through his phone instead of asking for a second helping of her famous pasta. A grandfather in Japan, sitting in his meticulously tended garden, wishing his granddaughter could see the beauty of the cherry blossoms with the same wonder she reserves for the animated characters on her tablet. A grandparent in America, having just driven home from a visit, replaying a moment in their mind when they tried to share a memory and were met with a distracted nod. Their circumstances are different, but the core feeling is the same. It is the quiet hum of a generation navigating a profound shift, a feeling of loving so much and not knowing the new rules of connection. You are part of a vast, unseen community of hearts. There is a quiet solidarity in that knowledge. Your experience is not isolating, it is profoundly shared. Let's normalize this experience completely. The confusion you feel is normal. The hurt you feel is normal. It is not a personal failing. It is a perfectly sane reaction to a profound cultural shift. Your entire life has trained you to believe that presence equals connection. You learned that looking someone in the eye, listening actively, and sharing physical space were the primary currencies of love and respect. You built your relationships on this foundation. It's a sturdy, beautiful, and deeply human foundation. And now you are witnessing a new world where connection can happen through screens, where presence can be digital, and where attention can be fractured into a dozen different streams at once. It is entirely natural for this to feel unsettling and even to feel like a rejection. It's as if you spent your whole life becoming a master craftsman of handwritten letters, pouring your heart and soul into beautiful prose and elegant script. Then, overnight, the world began communicating in emojis and 15-second videos. You would naturally feel confused. You might feel that your skills are no longer valued. You might even feel a little hurt that the depth and nuance of your letters are being passed over for something so fleeting and simple. But the issue is not with your letters. Your letters are still beautiful, meaningful, and deeply valuable. The issue is that the language of the world has changed. Your confusion is not a sign of being out of touch. It is a sign that you are fluent in a deep and timeless language that is temporarily not in vogue. It is okay to feel grief for that. It is okay to be confused by the new grammar. You are not failing. You are simply a native speaker of one language, living in a world that is rapidly adopting another. And so, let us offer an affirmation to your heart tonight, a truth to hold on to as you drift towards sleep. Your capacity to love so deeply, even when it hurts, is a beautiful and powerful gift. Think about that for a moment. The reason this situation causes you pain is because your heart is so open, so vast, and so capable of profound love. A person who did not care so much would not feel this ache. A person who was not so invested would simply shrug and turn away. But you don't. You stay. You keep offering your presence. You keep hoping for connection. You continue to love with a quiet, steady persistence. This capacity for deep, enduring love is not a weakness. It is your greatest strength. It is a superpower in a world that can sometimes feel shallow and disposable. This love is the inheritance you are truly passing down. It is not contained in any single story you tell or any specific activity you share. It is in the very atmosphere you create. It is in the warmth of your home, in the food you offer, in the simple, unwavering fact of your presence. Even when their eyes are on a screen, their nervous systems are aware of you. They are subconsciously absorbing the safety, the stability, and the unconditional acceptance that radiates from you. They are breathing in the air of your love, even if they don't consciously name it. This love is a quiet force, working in ways you may never fully see. So if you find yourself feeling sad or frustrated, try to gently reframe it in your mind. Say to yourself, "This feeling I have right now, this ache in my chest, is the physical evidence of my immense love. It is not a problem to be solved. It is a testament to my strength of heart." This reframing doesn't make the pain disappear, but it changes your relationship to it. It transforms it from a sign of failure into a badge of honor. You are a person who loves this much. And in a world that often encourages detachment and cynicism, to love this much is a radical act of beauty and courage. It is the greatest gift you possess. Hold this thought as you let your body sink deeper into rest. You are part of a global family of loving grandparents, all learning a new dance. Your feelings are normal and valid, and your heart, with its incredible, sometimes painful, capacity to love so deeply, is not the problem. It is the answer. It is the quiet, steady lighthouse that shines its light regardless of the passing ships. It is the sun that pours out its warmth without asking for anything in return. Let the truth of this settle into your bones, bringing with it a sense of peace, of rightness, of belonging. You are not alone, and you are loving beautifully. Let's stay with this feeling of love for a little while longer. Let's honor the loving heart that resides within you, the very source of both your greatest joy and your most tender sorrow. It is a profound and simple truth that the pain you feel in these moments of disconnection is real, precisely because the love you feel is so real. The two are inextricably linked. You cannot have one without the other. If you didn't love them with such a fierce and boundless devotion, their divided attention would mean nothing to you. It would be like water off a duck's back. You would simply observe it as a curious fact of modern life and move on. But it is not a curious fact to you. It is a deeply personal experience because the people at the center of it are woven into the very fabric of your heart. So let us first and foremost validate the pain. It is not an overreaction. It is not you being too sensitive. It is the logical, natural, and healthy response of a heart that is deeply in love. Imagine your love as a powerful, life-giving river that flows from the center of your being. It has been flowing your whole life, nourishing your children, and now it flows towards your grandchildren. This river carries with it all of your hopes, your wisdom, and your desire for their happiness. When you feel seen and connected, it's as if they are joyfully drinking from this river, and the flow is easy and fulfilling. But when their attention is elsewhere, it can feel as though a dam has been built or the river has been diverted. The love doesn't stop flowing. It can't. It is your nature. But it pools up behind the dam, creating a pressure, an ache, a sense of longing. The ache is not a sign that the river is faulty. The ache is a sign of the river's immense power and its unwavering desire to flow and to give. Your pain is the measure of your love's strength. With this understanding, we can begin to gently reframe the hurt. Instead of seeing it as a weakness or a sign of something wrong, we can begin to see it as a measure of your heart's incredible capacity to care. Your heart is not fragile. It is expansive. It has stretched and grown over a lifetime to hold all the love you have given and received. It has held the tiny, trusting body of a newborn, the worries of a parent, the joys of partnership, and the sorrows of loss. It is a strong, resilient, and magnificent organ of connection. The fact that it can still feel the subtle sting of being overlooked is not a sign of its fragility, but a sign of its incredible sensitivity. It is a finely tuned instrument, capable of detecting the most delicate shifts in the emotional atmosphere. Think of it like a master musician who can hear a single note that is slightly out of tune in a full orchestra. A casual listener might not notice it at all, but the musician, with their years of training and their deep love for the music, hears it instantly. It doesn't mean their ears are weak. It means their ears are exceptionally skilled. Your heart is like that. It is so finely attuned to the music of connection that it notices when a single note is missing. This sensitivity is not a flaw. It is a gift. It is what allows you to love so deeply, to empathize so profoundly, and to create such a warm and nurturing presence for your family. Do not wish for a heart that feels less. Instead, honor the one you have for its extraordinary capacity to feel so much. This brings us to a beautiful analogy to hold in your mind as you drift. Your love is like the sun. The sun rises every single morning. It pours its light and warmth down upon the earth without condition or expectation. It shines on the fields that are ready to grow, and it shines on the stones that simply absorb its heat. It shines on the faces that are turned up to receive its rays, and it shines on the people who are inside, with the curtains drawn, completely unaware of its presence. The sun does not diminish its light because someone is not looking at it. It does not stop shining because a cloud passes in front of it. It does not demand that the flowers turn their faces toward it. It simply continues to be what it is, a constant, reliable, life-giving source of warmth. Your love, in its purest form, is like this. Its purpose is not to be constantly acknowledged, but simply to be, to radiate, to provide a steady source of warmth and light in the lives of your family. Whether they are looking directly at you in any given moment, or turned toward the glow of a screen, they are still living within the ecosystem of your warmth. Your love is part of the climate of their lives. It helps them grow. It provides a baseline of safety and security that they may not even be able to articulate. They are warmed by you, even when they are not consciously basking in your light. Holding this analogy can bring a sense of profound peace. It releases you from the exhausting task of trying to get their attention. The sun does not try. The sun simply shines. Your job is not to compete with the screen. Your job is to be the sun. This means tending to your own light. It means cultivating your own joy, your own interests, your own peace, so that the warmth you radiate is genuine and effortless. It shifts your focus from, how can I make them look at me, to, how can I be the most steady and radiant source of love I can be? The first question is a struggle based on external validation. The second question is a gentle journey of internal alignment. It puts the power back in your hands. You cannot control where they look, but you can always control the quality of the light you shine. So as you lie here, feel that sun within your own chest. Feel its gentle, steady warmth. It is not a blazing, demanding fire. It is a constant, reliable glow. It is your essence. It is the accumulated love of a lifetime. Let its warmth spread through your entire body, soothing any feelings of hurt or inadequacy. Let it remind you of your true nature and your true role. You are the sun, and your light is a gift to your family, a gift that nourishes them in ways both seen and unseen. There is no need to strive. There is only a need to be. And now, in this moment, simply rest in the gentle, powerful, and unconditional warmth of your own loving heart. Now, in this state of deep calm and self-acceptance, let us gently begin the process of letting go. Not letting go of love, never that, but letting go of the heavy burdens that have become attached to that love. First and foremost, let us grant your heart full and unconditional permission to release the specific picture of how it was supposed to be. We spoke earlier of this dream, the silent movie in your mind of the perfect grandparent experience. This picture, as beautiful and well-intentioned as it is, can become a heavy weight. It becomes a measuring stick against which you constantly compare reality. And every time reality falls short of that picture, it creates a feeling of disappointment, a sense of lack, a feeling that something is wrong. This picture, which started as a beautiful hope, can inadvertently become a source of suffering. It keeps you focused on what is missing, rather than appreciating what is present. Holding on to this rigid expectation is like clutching a beautiful, fragile glass vase. You hold it so tightly, afraid to let it go because it represents your ideal. But your grip is so tight that it creates a constant tension in your hand, and you live in fear of it shattering. Letting go is not about smashing the vase. It is about gently, carefully placing it on a shelf. You can still admire it. You can still appreciate the beautiful dream it represents, but you are no longer clinging to it. Your hands are now free to embrace the reality that is right in front of you, with all of its unexpected shapes and textures. Free to discover the new and surprising ways that connection might appear, ways that were never in your original picture. So, in the quiet of your mind, give yourself this permission. You might say to yourself, I release the need for my relationship with my grandchildren to look a certain way. I let go of the script I wrote for our time together. I open myself to the story that is actually unfolding, with curiosity and with love. Feel the sense of relief that comes with this release. It is a profound act of grace you are offering yourself. You are letting go of the struggle, the resistance to what is. You are choosing peace over the perfect picture. To help embody this release, let's turn to the wisdom of your breath. Your breath is the most powerful and accessible tool you have for letting go. Each exhale is a natural, physical process of release. Your body does it all day long without you thinking about it, releasing carbon dioxide and other waste products. We can now use this natural process with conscious intention. Let's begin a gentle breathing exercise. There is no need to force anything. Simply bring your awareness to the natural rhythm of your breath as it is right now. Notice the cool air as it enters your nostrils and the warm air as it leaves. Now, on your next inhale, I want you to imagine you are breathing in a sense of calm, gentle acceptance. Breathe in peace. Imagine this clean, peaceful air filling your lungs, filling your chest, bringing a sense of spaciousness and ease. And as you exhale, I want you to imagine that you are breathing out the weight of that heavy expectation. With each out-breath, you are physically releasing the picture of how it was supposed to be. Let the exhale be a little longer, a little slower than the inhale. A long, slow, gentle sigh of release. Let's do this together for a few cycles. Inhaling calm and acceptance, and exhaling the weight of disappointment, letting it all go. Inhaling peace, exhaling the need for things to be different than they are. One more time, a deep, nourishing breath of self-compassion, and a long, slow, complete release of the struggle. Feel the shift in your body. Feel the softening in your shoulders, your jaw, your belly. You are using your own life force to cleanse your emotional space, making room for something new to emerge. The second thing we can release is the immense and unfair pressure you might be putting on yourself to compete with a screen. This is a battle you were never meant to fight, and one you can never win on its terms. A screen can offer a universe of fast-paced, high-dopamine novelty. It can deliver endless streams of entertainment, perfectly tailored to a young and developing mind that craves stimulation. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry designed by the brightest minds in the world with the specific goal of capturing and holding attention. To believe that you, as one loving human being, should be able to single-handedly outdazzle this technological marvel is an impossible expectation. It is like asking a master storyteller to compete with a blockbuster action movie, or a beautiful acoustic melody to compete with a stadium rock concert. They are simply different things, offering different experiences. Your gift is not novelty, it is presence. Your gift is not high stimulation, it is deep security. Your gift is not virtual worlds, it is the grounded reality of unconditional love. To try and compete is to misunderstand your own profound and unique value. It is to step into an arena where your greatest strengths, patience, wisdom, quiet love, are not the skills being judged. You must refuse to enter that competition. Lay down the sword. You are not an entertainer. You are not a content creator. You are a grandparent. Your role is infinitely more important and more sacred than that. Releasing the pressure to compete means you can relax into your authentic role. You can simply be yourself. You can offer a quiet conversation, a shared silence, a gentle hug, a cookie from the oven, without the anxious feeling that it might not be enough. It is enough. You are enough. What you offer is a different kind of nourishment, a different kind of food for the soul. And while they may gorge on the fast food of the screen, they will always, always need the deep, soul-level nourishment that only you can provide. So, with another conscious exhale, let this pressure go. Breathe out the feeling that you need to be more exciting, more interesting, more anything. Release the need to perform. You can let yourself off that hook completely. The freedom that comes from this is immense. It allows you to show up with an open, non-anxious heart, offering what you have to offer with love, and letting that be enough. Because it is. It truly, deeply is. As we sink deeper into this state of release, let us turn our attention to one of the heaviest stories we carry, the story of less than. This story is often whispered by a quiet voice inside, an inner critic that can become especially active during moments of vulnerability. After a visit where you felt unseen, after a conversation that didn't quite connect, this voice might emerge from the shadows. It whispers things like, "I'm not interesting enough anymore," or "My stories are old and boring," or even a more painful one, "They prefer the screen because I am not enough." This voice is not your truth. It is the voice of fear. It is the echo of a lifetime of societal messages that tell us our value is tied to our productivity, our youth, our relevance in the fast-moving current of culture. It is a voice that thrives on comparison, and in the comparison between a human being and a piece of technology designed for endless novelty, it will always find evidence for its story of less than. Tonight, we are going to meet this voice, not with resistance, but with gentle understanding. And then we are going to let its story go. The first step is to recognize the voice for what it is. It is not the wise, compassionate center of your being. It is a conditioned pattern of thought. It is like a well-worn groove on a record player, a track that has been played so many times that the needle naturally falls into it. When you feel that pang of being overlooked, the needle of your mind can slip into that old familiar groove of "I'm not enough." The simple act of noticing this, of saying to yourself, "Ah, there is that old story again," is profoundly liberating. You are no longer identified with the story. You are the one who is observing the story. This creates a space between you and the voice, and in that space, you have a choice. You can choose not to believe it. Let's gently address the content of this story. The idea that you are boring is based on a very narrow, modern definition of what interesting means. Our culture often equates interesting with new, fast, loud, and sensational. By that definition, a quiet garden may seem boring compared to a video game. A slow, thoughtful story may seem boring compared to a rapid-fire series of video clips. But this is not a true or complete definition of what it means to be interesting. There is another kind of interesting, a deeper kind. The quiet wisdom of a person who has lived through 7, 8, or 9 decades is interesting. The resilience of a heart that has known both great love and great loss is interesting. The steady presence of someone who offers unconditional acceptance is profoundly interesting and deeply rare. You are not boring. You are a library. Each year of your life is a volume on the shelf. Your shelves are filled with stories of historical events you witnessed firsthand, of societal changes you navigated, of personal triumphs and quiet heartbreaks. You contain multitudes. You hold the wisdom of a world that no longer exists, a perspective that is invaluable. To a young mind conditioned for fast stimulation, the value of a library might not be immediately apparent. They might run past the doors, drawn by the bright lights of the arcade next door. But the library remains. Its doors are always open. Its knowledge is timeless. Its quiet halls offer a sanctuary of depth and meaning. The value of the library is not diminished if someone chooses the arcade. The library's worth is inherent. You are a living library. Please let this truth sink into your bones. Your worth is not determined by who is currently checking out a book. With this understanding, we can now release the need for their validation to feel whole and valuable. This is a crucial step. As long as your sense of worth is dependent on their attention, you will be on an emotional roller coaster that you cannot control. You will feel good when they are engaged, and you will feel diminished when they are distracted. You are giving the remote control for your own self-esteem to a child and a piece of technology. It's time to take that remote control back. You have lived a long and full life. You have built a sense of self over many decades. You have navigated challenges, celebrated joys, and become the person you are today through your own efforts and your own spirit. Your wholeness is not a project that needs to be completed by a grandchild's approval. Your wholeness is already a fact. So, with a deep and conscious breath, let go of the need for their validation. Imagine you are holding this need in your hands. It might feel like a fragile bird or a heavy stone. Acknowledge what it is, a very human desire to be seen and valued by those we love. Thank it for trying to protect you, for trying to ensure you are loved. And then, gently open your hands and let it go. You are not rejecting their love or their attention. You are simply releasing your dependency on it for your own sense of self. You are deciding, right now, to validate yourself. You are deciding that you are enough, interesting enough, and valuable enough simply because you exist. This is the ultimate act of self-love. It is the foundation of unshakable peace. And now, an affirmation to seal this release. Think of all the changes you have already navigated in your life with grace and with strength. Think of the technologies that have come and gone, the changes in society, in politics, in the very fabric of daily life. You have adapted. You have learned. You have endured. You have found your way through landscapes that were once utterly foreign to you. From party line telephones to smartphones, from writing letters to sending emails, from a world of 3 television channels to a world of infinite streaming services. You have witnessed and navigated more change than almost any generation in human history. This challenge, this feeling of disconnection in the face of their screens, is just another change. It is not a reflection of your worth. It is simply another river to cross, and you have a lifetime of experience in crossing rivers. Remind yourself of your own resilience. You have the strength, the wisdom, and the grace to navigate this too. Not by fighting it, but by finding your own steady ground, your own unshakable sense of self, right in the middle of it. The story of less than is the flimsiest of tales when held up against the epic novel of your actual life. So let that flimsy story dissolve into the night. Let it be replaced by the quiet, powerful, and undeniable truth of your own enduring strength and your inherent, unquestionable worth. Rest in that truth now. It is your bedrock. It is your home. Having released the heavy stories and expectations, we can now step into a new way of seeing ourselves, a new role that brings with it a profound sense of peace and purpose. Let's gently reframe your role, moving away from the exhausting job of an entertainer and stepping into the steady, powerful presence of a lighthouse. For a moment, hold that image in your mind. A lighthouse. Picture it standing on the rocky edge of a coastline. It is tall, strong, and built on a solid foundation. Its entire structure is designed for one purpose: to endure. It withstands the gentle lapping of the summer waves and the violent crashing of the winter storms. It endures the bright, sunny days and the dark, foggy nights. It does not change its position based on the weather. It does not chase after the ships on the sea. It simply stands. Its power is in its constancy. The primary purpose of a lighthouse is not to demand that ships look at it. It does not get anxious if a ship sails by in the bright light of day, navigating by its own charts and instruments, seemingly ignoring the tall tower on the shore. The lighthouse does not feel rejected. It does not question its own worth. It understands that its light is not needed in every single moment. Its purpose is not to be the center of the journey, but to be a reliable point of reference, a constant, predictable light in the harbor. It is there to offer guidance, to mark the way home, and to provide a beacon of safety when the seas get rough and the visibility is low. This is your new role. You are the lighthouse for your family. Your value is not in your doing, but in your being. It is not about planning the perfect activity, telling the most engaging story, or competing for a moment of their attention. It is about being that steady, reliable presence in their lives. It is about them knowing, on a deep, instinctual level, that you are there, that your light is on, that no matter how far they roam, no matter how stormy their own lives may become, they can always look toward the shore and find your light, marking the way to a safe harbor. This is a role of immense importance, far greater than that of a momentary entertainer. Entertainers are forgotten. Lighthouses become landmarks. Think about what this means in practical terms. It means you can release the anxiety of a quiet visit. If they are quietly absorbed in their screens while in the same room as you do not need to see this as a failure. You can see it from the perspective of the lighthouse. You are simply being. Your steady presence is creating an atmosphere of safety and calm that allows them to relax in their own way. You are the anchor in the room, the solid ground beneath their feet, even if their conscious minds are soaring through digital worlds. They are tethered to your safety. Your quiet, non-anxious presence is a gift in itself. It communicates you are safe here. You can be yourself here. You don't have to perform for me. You are loved unconditionally. This is a profoundly comforting message for a child to receive, especially in a world that often demands constant performance. This reframing also changes how you view your own contributions. The lighthouse's main job is simply to shine its light. It does this automatically, without striving. Your light is your love, your wisdom, your life experience. It shines through in the little things. A warm smile, a favorite meal prepared for them, a simple, "I'm so glad you're here," a story you tell to another adult in their hearing, the calm and peaceful energy of your home. These are all beams from your light. You don't need to aim them directly at your grandchildren for them to be effective. The light simply fills the space, and they absorb it. They may not comment on it. They may not seem to notice it in the moment, but it is getting in. It is becoming a part of their internal map of the world. They are learning what safety feels like, what unconditional love feels like, what home feels like, just by being in your presence. There is a deep trust involved in embracing this role. The lighthouse trusts that its light will be seen when it is needed most. It doesn't worry about the times it isn't the focus of attention. It holds a long-term view. In the same way, you can trust in the long-term impact of your presence. Right now, in their childhood and teenage years, they are like ships sailing in the bright sunshine. Their world is full of novelty and excitement. They feel invincible, capable of navigating on their own. But life will inevitably bring storms. There will be times of confusion, of heartbreak, of self-doubt. There will be foggy nights when they lose their way. And in those moments, their hearts will instinctively search for a light. They will look for a steady, reliable beacon to guide them back to themselves. And they will remember you. They will remember the feeling of your home. They will remember the unconditional safety you provided. Your steady, quiet love will be the light that guides them home. This is the sacred work of a grandparent. It is not about the fleeting moments of shared attention, as lovely as those are. It is about the long, slow, patient work of becoming a landmark in their emotional landscape. It is about building a foundation of love so solid that it can weather any storm. So let go of the need to be the ship's entertainment director. Let go of the need to be the captain. Embrace the quiet dignity and immense power of being the lighthouse. Feel this image settling into your body. Feel the solid foundation beneath you. Feel your spine as the strong, steady tower. Feel your heart as the light, glowing with a warm, unwavering beam. It does not flicker. It does not fade. It simply shines. From this place, there is no anxiety. There is no competition. There is no feeling of less than. There is only a deep, quiet, and abiding sense of purpose. You are a beacon. You are a safe harbor. And in the grand, sweeping story of their lives, your steady light will be one of the most important and enduring gifts they will ever receive. Rest in this powerful new identity. You are the lighthouse. From this calm and steady place of being the lighthouse, we can now afford to look across the generational canyon with a new set of eyes. Instead of seeing a chasm of rejection, we can begin to cultivate a gentle, compassionate curiosity. This requires a subtle but powerful shift in perspective. We are shifting from the painful interpretation of "they are rejecting me" to the more neutral, more spacious observation of "they are deeply immersed in their world." Let's explore the difference. The first interpretation is entirely about you. It places you at the center of the dynamic and concludes that their action is a direct, negative comment on your value. It's a story that leads directly to feelings of hurt, inadequacy, and loneliness. The second interpretation, however, is about them. It recognizes that they are the protagonists of their own lives, living in a time and a culture with its own unique pressures, languages, and ways of being. Their immersion in their digital world is not an action they are taking against you. It is an action they are taking within the context of their own reality. This shift doesn't magically erase the pang of wanting to connect, but it removes the sharp, personal sting of rejection. It depersonalizes the behavior. Imagine you are watching a deep-sea diver, fully engrossed in the vibrant, complex world of a coral reef. They are wearing a helmet, breathing from a tank, their entire focus on the colorful fish and strange creatures swimming around them. You are on the boat, on the surface. If you call their name, they likely won't hear you. If you wave, they likely won't see you. Is their absorption in the reef a rejection of you? No. It is simply a state of complete immersion in a different environment. Their focus is not away from you, so much as it is on something else entirely. Our grandchildren are, in many ways, deep-sea divers in the digital ocean. It is a world with its own rules, its own beauty, its own dangers, and it requires their full attention to navigate. To see their absorption this way is an act of deep empathy. It allows you to see their behavior not as a reflection of how they feel about you, but as a reflection of the world they inhabit. With this empathetic lens, we can begin to cultivate a gentle curiosity about their digital reality, and this is key. We can do this without needing to understand all of it, and certainly without needing to approve of all of it. This is not about you suddenly learning to play their video games or becoming fluent in the latest internet slang. That can be a bridge for some, but it is not a requirement for connection. The curiosity we are cultivating is quieter, more observational. It's the curiosity of a loving anthropologist studying a foreign culture, not with judgment, but with a desire to understand the human experience within it. What does this world offer them? What needs does it meet? What are the emotional currents flowing through these digital spaces? Perhaps the games they play offer them a sense of competence, of mastery, of being a hero in a world where they might feel small or powerless in their real lives. Perhaps the social media they scroll through is their primary village square, the place where they learn social norms, connect with their peers, and figure out who they are. Perhaps the endless stream of short videos provides a kind of mental comfort food, a low-stakes distraction from the anxieties of growing up in a complicated world. You don't have to like these things. You don't have to think they are good for them. You can hold your own wisdom and your own concerns. But you can also hold a space of curiosity about what these things mean to them. You can ask questions not from a place of judgment, but from a place of genuine interest. A simple, "What is it about that game that you love so much?" or "Show me a video that made you laugh today," can be a powerful bridge. You are not trying to enter their world, but to stand at the edge and ask them to describe the view. You are showing them that you see them, and you are interested in what they see. This shift in perspective allows us to see the screen not as a wall, but as a window. When we see it as a wall, it is a barrier between you and them. It is an obstacle to connection. It is a source of frustration and division. But when we see it as a window, our perspective changes entirely. It becomes a pane of glass through which you can catch glimpses into the landscape of their generation. The things they watch, the people they follow, the jokes they share. These are all clues to their inner world. They are the language and the landmarks of their particular time in history. To look through this window with them, even for a moment, is an act of love. It says, "Your world matters to me because you matter to me." Think about the difference. A wall feels personal. It feels like it was built to keep you out. A window is impersonal. It's just a feature of the architecture of their world. You can resent the wall, or you can choose to walk over and look through the window. Standing beside them and looking through the window together, even for a few moments, can be a new form of connection. It's not the deep, face-to-face conversation you might have dreamed of, but it is a form of shared experience. It is a moment of parallel presence, where your two worlds touch. You might not understand what you're seeing, but you can understand the delight in their eyes, the excitement in their voice, or the focus on their face. You can connect with their emotional experience, even if you don't connect with the content itself. This is a practice in letting go of your own agenda. It is about meeting them where they are, rather than demanding they come all the way over to your side of the canyon. It doesn't mean you abandon your world or your values. The lighthouse doesn't move from the shore, but it does shine its light on the water they are navigating. By showing a gentle, non-judgmental interest in their world, you are shining your light of love onto their reality. You are validating their experience, and in doing so, you are keeping the door of connection open. You are building a bridge made not of shared interests, but of shared respect. And that kind of bridge is strong enough to bear the weight of any generational divide. So as you rest, let go of the image of the wall. Let it dissolve. In its place, see a simple, clear window, and see yourself, not with your back to it, but standing beside your grandchild, looking through it together, with a heart full of gentle, loving curiosity. This simple shift can transform moments of frustration into opportunities for a new, quieter, but no less meaningful kind of connection. As we learn to look through that window with gentle curiosity, our eyes begin to adjust. We start to notice things we might have missed before. We begin to discover the new, often subtle language of love and connection that is being spoken in our presence. It requires us to become quiet observers, detectives of affection. We must begin to recognize the small, new forms of connection that might otherwise be dismissed as insignificant. Think about a recent visit. Amidst the stretches of digital immersion, were there other moments? Was there a shared glance over the top of a screen when something funny happened in the room? A brief moment of eye contact that said, "Did you see that too?" That glance, fleeting as it is a bid for connection. It's a tiny thread thrown across the space between you. Was there a quick laugh, shared not at one of your stories, but at a video they turned their phone to show you? In that moment, they are inviting you into their world of humor. They are saying, "This is what I find funny. I want you to see it too." It may not be your kind of joke, but the act of sharing is an offering. It is a modern equivalent of them running in from the garden to show you a strange-looking bug they found. The content has changed, but the impulse to share a discovery with you is the same. What about their physical presence? The simple, quiet fact of them choosing to sit in the same room as you while they are on their devices. They could go to their bedroom. They could find a more private space. But often, they choose to be in your orbit. This choice, which can seem like a rejection of interaction, can also be interpreted as a deep form of connection. It's a statement of belonging. They are choosing to be anchored in your presence. It's as if they are saying, I need to be in this digital world right now, but I want to do it from the safety and comfort of your harbor. Their physical nearness is a form of tribute to the atmosphere you have created. They feel safe with you. They feel at home. This parallel activity, this alone together state, is a hallmark of connection for this generation. It is a language we must learn to appreciate. This leads us to the crucial task of redefining quality time. Our old definition might be quite rigid. It might involve board games, long conversations, shared activities with no distractions. And while those moments are golden and to be cherished when they happen, clinging to that as the only valid form of connection will lead to constant disappointment. We must expand our definition. We must make it more flexible, more spacious, more accommodating of the reality we live in. Quality time can now include quiet, parallel moments of just being in the same room together. It can be 5 minutes of watching a silly video with them. It can be you reading a book while they play a game on their tablet, the silence between you comfortable and easy. It is about the quality of the presence, not the quantity of the interaction. Think of it like this. 2 old friends can sit together on a park bench for an hour without saying a word, and both can leave feeling deeply connected. Their long history and mutual affection fill the silence. The connection is not in the chatter. It is in the shared space, the unspoken understanding. We can learn to experience this with our grandchildren. We can learn to see the time they spend in our homes, regardless of the activity, as a deposit in the bank of love. We are not always making a grand, memorable transaction. Sometimes, we are just letting the interest compound quietly in the background. The value is cumulative. Every hour spent in your peaceful, loving presence is contributing to their sense of security and belonging in the world, whether that hour was spent talking or in shared, comfortable silence. This requires a deep and abiding trust in the unseen. So much of our impact as grandparents is subconscious. It is not in the lessons we teach, but in the love we embody. It is in the way our nervous system calms theirs, just by being nearby. It is in the memories their senses are recording. The smell of your home, the taste of your cooking, the sound of your voice, the feeling of your hug. These sensory imprints are being stored deep within them, forming their concept of home, safety, and love. They are building a foundation for their entire emotional life. This foundational work is happening beneath the surface, completely independent of their conscious attention. It is happening right now, even when their eyes are on a screen. And so, we arrive at a powerful affirmation, a truth to hold at the center of your heart. Your presence is a quiet anchor for your family, felt even when it is not seen. An anchor's work is not glamorous. It is not the sail, catching the wind and powering the journey. It is not the captain's wheel, steering the direction. The anchor's work is silent, invisible, and happens deep beneath the surface. Its job is to hold the boat steady in the harbor, to keep it from drifting out into the storm. It provides a baseline of security, a point of return. Without the anchor, the boat is untethered, vulnerable, and at the mercy of every changing tide. You are that anchor. When your grandchildren are in your home, they are anchored. They may be exploring the wild, exciting, and sometimes dangerous oceans of the internet, but their vessel is securely held by you. Your steady love, your calm presence, your non-judgmental acceptance. This is the heavy, reliable chain that connects them to safety. They may not be consciously aware of the anchor's function. They may only be aware of the exciting journey they are on, but their soul knows. Their spirit knows that they are safe, that they can explore these worlds because they are securely moored. This is your vital, irreplaceable role. You are providing the stability that makes their exploration possible. Let this image soothe any remaining feelings of being useless or unseen. The most important work is often the quietest. The anchor makes no sound. The lighthouse is silent. The sun shines without applause. Embrace the quiet power of your role. See the small bids for connection for the treasures they are. Redefine quality time to include the beauty of simple, shared presence. And trust, with all your heart, in the deep, invisible work your love is doing every single moment they are near. You are not just being tolerated in the room. You are the reason the room feels like home. You are the anchor. Now that we have established your powerful, quiet role as the anchor, let's gently pull our focus away from the relationship with your grandchildren for a little while. Let's turn the full, compassionate light of your attention back onto the person at the center of this all, you. For so much of our lives, especially as parents and grandparents, our identities can become deeply intertwined with our roles. Our sense of self becomes reflected in the eyes of our children and our children's children. But your story did not begin when you became a grandparent. Your value was not bestowed upon you by that title. Let's take a journey back, a gentle journey through the rich, full, and fascinating library of your own life, a life that is complete and whole, entirely independent of your role in the family. Take a slow, deep breath and let your mind drift back in time. Go back to a time before you were a grandparent, before you were even a parent. Who were you then? What were your passions? What made your heart beat faster? Remember the young person you were, with a life stretching out before you, full of dreams and possibilities. Perhaps you were an artist, a musician, a writer. Perhaps you were an athlete, feeling the power and freedom of your body. Perhaps you were a scholar, in love with books and ideas. Perhaps you were a traveler, filled with a desire to see the world. Reconnect with that person for a moment. Feel the energy, the hopes, the unique spark that was you. That person is not gone. They are the foundation upon which your entire life has been built. They still live within you. Now, let your mind wander through the different chapters of your life, the different volumes on your library shelf. Think about the triumphs. They don't have to be grand, public achievements. Think of the quiet triumphs. The time you learned a difficult skill. The moment you overcame a fear. The challenge you faced at work and successfully navigated. The personal project you completed that brought you a deep sense of satisfaction. The time you stood up for what you believed in. Let yourself feel the warmth of these accomplishments again. These moments are testaments to your strength, your intelligence, and your perseverance. They are part of the bedrock of your self-worth, and they have nothing to do with anyone else's approval. They are yours alone. Now, with equal gentleness, let your mind touch upon the challenges. Think of the times of heartbreak, of loss, of disappointment, the times when life did not go according to plan, the struggles you endured. Do not dwell on the pain, but instead focus on the fact that you are here, now, having passed through those fires. What did you learn from those times? What strength did you discover in yourself that you didn't know you had? You learned resilience. You learned compassion. You learned what it means to get back up after being knocked down. These are not just painful memories. They are the forge in which your wisdom was shaped. Every challenge you have overcome has added a layer of depth and character to your soul. You are a survivor. You are a person of profound and tested strength. Your legacy is not something you must desperately try to give away to your grandchildren before it's too late. Your legacy is something you already are. It is not contained in the stories you tell. It is contained in you. Your life, with all its joys and sorrows, its successes and its failures, has been woven into the very fabric of your being. It shows in the kindness in your eyes, a kindness that could only be learned through experiencing both kindness and unkindness. It is present in the patience in your voice, a patience forged by years of waiting, of nurturing, of seeing things through. It lives in the wisdom of your perspective, a perspective that can only be gained by standing on the high ground of many decades and seeing the long view of life's patterns. You do not need to pass on this legacy. You radiate it. You embody it. It is in the very air around you. This is a profound shift in understanding. It releases you from the pressure of performance. You don't have to worry if they are getting your stories. They are getting you on a much deeper, more essential level. They are learning from the person you have become. Your life has been the curriculum, and your character is the lesson. And it is a lesson they are absorbing every moment they are in your presence. This brings us to another powerful affirmation. Your wisdom is a treasure, woven into the very fabric of who you are. A treasure is not valuable because of who is looking at it. A diamond buried deep in the earth is still a diamond. A bar of gold at the bottom of the ocean is still gold. Its value is inherent. Your wisdom, your life experience, your unique story. This is your treasure. It is not something you have to sell or package for consumption. Its value is absolute and unconditional. Reconnecting with this truth is like coming home to yourself. It is a deep remembering of your own sovereignty, your own completeness. So, as you rest here tonight, allow yourself to feel a sense of deep pride and appreciation for the life you have lived, for the person you have become. Let go of the feeling that your best years are behind you, or that your main purpose now is to serve the next generation. Your life is still your own. You still have passions to explore, joys to discover, peace to cultivate. Nurturing your own soul, tending to your own interests, and finding joy in your own life is not a selfish act. It is the very thing that keeps your lighthouse shining brightly. When you are fulfilled, when you are at peace with yourself, the love you radiate is effortless and pure. It is not needy. It is not demanding. It is a generous overflow from a cup that you have first filled for yourself. Tonight, honor the incredible journey that has been your life. You are a masterpiece, a work of art, millions of moments in the making, and your value is beyond measure. Rest in the rich, deep, and quiet dignity of being you. Having reconnected with the deep well of your own life story and inherent worth, we can now bring that wisdom back to your role as a grandparent, but with a new, more peaceful perspective. Let's integrate this understanding into a beautiful and powerful new metaphor for your influence. Understand your role as that of a gardener, a wise, patient, and loving gardener who is tending to the soil of your grandchildren's souls. Your job is not to force the flowers to bloom on your schedule. It is not to demand that they grow in a certain shape or face a certain direction. Your sacred task is to plant seeds. Seeds of love, seeds of security, and seeds of belonging. You plant these seeds with every kind word, every warm hug, every meal you cook, every time you simply show up and are present. Many of these actions may seem small and insignificant in the moment. They may seem to go unnoticed, but you are not looking for immediate results. You are planting for a lifetime. Think about how a real gardener works. They carefully prepare the soil, creating a rich and nurturing environment. This is what you do when you create a home that feels safe, peaceful, and welcoming. That atmosphere is the fertile soil. Then, the gardener plants a tiny seed. They place it in the earth, cover it gently, and trust. They water it. They make sure it gets sunlight, but they cannot force it to sprout. They cannot pull on the seedling to make it grow faster. The growth happens in the dark, beneath the surface, in its own time, according to its own mysterious internal clock. Your words of love, your acts of kindness, these are the seeds. You offer them, and then you must trust the process. You must trust that they have been received, that they have found a place in the soil of their hearts, and that they will grow when the time is right. This perspective completely changes the feeling of your interactions. You are no longer looking for a reaction in the moment. You are not planting a seed and then digging it up 5 minutes later to see if it has sprouted. You are not measuring the success of your love by the level of their immediate engagement. You are simply focused on the act of planting. You are finding joy in the giving, in the offering, without being attached to the outcome. You are playing the long game. You are loving for the future. You are planting trees in whose shade you may never sit, and you are doing it simply because it is an act of love. This is a role of profound faith and deep peace. This leads us to integrate a deep and comforting truth. Your impact is often silent and subconscious, like the deep roots of a great tree. When you look at a magnificent towering oak tree, what you see are the trunk, the branches, and the leaves. You admire its height, its beauty, the way it changes with the seasons. But the most important part of the tree is the part you cannot see. The vast, intricate network of roots that spreads deep and wide beneath the earth. These roots are what anchor the tree. They are what provide the stability to withstand the strongest winds. They are what draw up the water and the nutrients that allow the leaves to flourish. The roots do their work in silence, in darkness, without any need for acknowledgement. You are the root system of your family. Your steady love, your consistent presence, your unwavering belief in them. This is the hidden network of support that gives them the stability they need to grow tall and strong. They may be completely unaware of this dynamic, They may be entirely focused on their own leaves, their own growth, their own place in the sun. But they are able to reach for that sun precisely because you are holding them steady from below. Your influence is not always in the visible interactions. It is in the foundational security you provide. They feel it in their bones, even if they don't have words for it. They are subconsciously learning from you what it means to be loved unconditionally, and this learning is forming the very root system of their own capacity to love and to feel secure in the world. Knowing this allows you to relax. It allows you to trust that your love is working, even when you see no outward evidence. It frees you from the need for constant validation. The roots of a tree do not need the leaves to thank them for the water. They simply continue their quiet, essential work. This is the peace that comes from understanding your true role. You are not the fleeting blossom of the day. You are the enduring root system of the generations. This is a place of immense power and quiet dignity. And so, we arrive at the core affirmation that all of this has been leading to, the gentle truth that you can carry with you into your deepest sleep. You are more than enough, exactly as you are. Let that phrase wash over you. Let it sink into every cell of your body. You are more than enough. You do not need to be more entertaining. You do not need to be more modern. You do not need to understand their world perfectly. You do not need to have all the answers. Your simple, authentic, loving presence is the greatest gift you could ever offer. It is the fertile soil. It is the deep root system. It is the steady lighthouse. It is the warm sun. In a world that is constantly telling us to be more, to do more, to have more, the most radical and peaceful act is to embrace the truth of our own enoughness. Your worth is not a performance. It is a presence, and your presence is a blessing to your family. Let go of the striving. Let go of the feeling that you are falling short. You are not falling short. You are fulfilling your most sacred role simply by being who you are, a person who loves deeply. And that is, and always has been, more than enough. Hold this truth like a precious, smooth stone in the palm of your hand. Feel its weight, its solidity. It is real. Let it be the final, comforting thought that anchors you tonight. All is well. You are doing a beautiful job. You are enough. Now, as we near the shores of deep sleep, let us gather these threads of understanding into a final peaceful tapestry. Let us embrace a sense of trust in the larger journey of your family, a journey that extends far beyond this present moment. This is the moment to embrace a sense of peace with what is, rather than continuing the exhausting struggle against it. We have acknowledged the pain. We have honored the love. We have reframed your role, and we have reconnected with your own inherent worth. The final piece is surrender. Not a surrender of defeat, but a surrender of wisdom. It is the wisdom of a sailor who, after fighting a relentless wind, finally realizes it is wiser to adjust the sails than to curse the storm. The storm of this cultural shift is not personal. It is a force of nature in our time. The wise response is not to try to stop the wind, but to work with it, to find a new way to navigate. Embracing peace with what is means looking at the situation without the filter of how you wish it would be. It means seeing your grandchildren on their screens, and instead of feeling a surge of disappointment, you can meet the moment with a quiet, neutral acceptance. This is what is happening right now. This simple, mindful acknowledgement stops the cycle of resistance and suffering. Resistance is the friction that creates the heat of our frustration. Acceptance is the cool water that soothes it. It does not mean you approve of it. It does not mean you stop hoping for different kinds of connection. It simply means you are no longer at war with reality. And in the absence of that internal war, a profound peace can finally take root. You are choosing to place your emotional energy not in fighting the present, but in cultivating your own inner calm, your own lighthouse presence, right in the middle of it. From this place of acceptance, we can cultivate an even deeper trust, trusting that as your grandchildren mature, they will come to see and appreciate the lighthouse you have always been for them. Think about your own life. When you were a teenager or a young adult, how much did you truly understand and appreciate the sacrifices, the worries, and the deep, steady love of your own parents or grandparents? Likely, not as much as you do now. It is the nature of youth to be focused on its own journey, its own storms, its own discoveries. The appreciation for the lighthouse often comes later, after one has sailed on many seas, navigated a few storms of their own, and begun to understand the immense value of a safe harbor. Your grandchildren are on their own developmental journey. Their brains are wired for novelty, for peer connection, for figuring out their own identity. This is a natural and necessary stage of life. They are not yet equipped with the life experience or the perspective to fully grasp the depth of what you offer. But you are planting seeds. You are building the foundation. The understanding will come. One day, when they have children of their own, they will remember the feeling of your home. One day, when they face a difficult life choice, they will remember your quiet, steady presence and draw strength from it. One day, they will look back and see the pattern of your unconditional love woven through their entire childhood, and their hearts will be filled with a profound gratitude that they cannot yet articulate. You must trust in this future awakening. The work you are doing now is not for today's applause. It is for their future resilience. It is a long-term investment in their soul, so release the need to see the results right now. Trust the process of human development. Trust that the love you are pouring into them is not being wasted. It is being stored, being absorbed, and it will blossom in its own season. The most beautiful flowers often take the longest time to grow. Have faith in the garden you are tending. And this leads us to the final, ultimate act of release for tonight. It is time to hand over the worry. It is time to let go of the need to fix anything. You may carry a subtle, underlying anxiety, a feeling that you should be doing something more, something different, to solve this problem of disconnection. You might worry about their development, about what the screens are doing to them, about the future of your relationship. This worry, though born of love, is a heavy, unproductive burden. It is like trying to carry water in your cupped hands. It is exhausting, and ultimately, you lose it all anyway. Tonight, it is time to open your hands and let the water of worry flow away. You cannot control their world. You cannot fix this cultural shift. You cannot single-handedly shape their interests or their habits. And the beautiful truth is, you don't have to. Your job is not to fix them. Your job is simply to love them. That's it. Let that simplicity wash over you. The only thing required of you is to keep your heart open, to continue being the steady, loving presence you already are. Allow love to be enough, because it is. Love is the most powerful, transformative force in the universe. Your quiet, unconditional love is doing more than any strategy, any worry, any effort to fix things ever could. It is the healing balm. It is the silent teacher. It is the ultimate guide. So, in these final moments before sleep, consciously hand it all over. Hand over the worry about their future. Hand over the need to control the situation. Hand over the disappointment and the hurt. Hand it over to the night, to the universe, to a power greater than yourself. Imagine placing all of these heavy concerns into a small boat and gently pushing it out into a vast, calm ocean. Watch it drift away, getting smaller and smaller until it disappears over the horizon. It is no longer yours to carry. Your work for today is done, and your work was simply to love. You have done it beautifully. And now, all that is left is to rest, trusting that love is enough. And so, the work is done for today. The journey inward is complete. You have traveled far tonight, from the quiet ache of being unseen to the deep solid ground of your own worth and purpose. You have tended to your heart with kindness. You have released the heavy burdens of expectation and worry. Now, all that remains is the final, deep release of the day into the gentle, waiting hands of the night. The night is a sacred time, a time of healing, a time when the conscious, striving mind can finally rest and the deeper, wiser parts of you can begin their quiet work of integration and restoration. Imagine the night as a vast, soft, velvet blanket slowly descending to cover the world. It brings with it a hush, a stillness, a permission to cease all effort. There is nothing left for you to figure out. There is nothing left to solve. The time for thinking is over. Now is the time for simply being. As you lie here on the edge of sleep, I want you to give your mind one final gentle instruction. The work is done. All of the insights, the new perspectives, the feelings of peace that we have cultivated tonight, you do not need to hold on to them tightly. You can release them now into the care of your subconscious mind. Your subconscious is a faithful and wise servant. It has been listening to this entire journey. It has absorbed the images of the lighthouse, the gardener, the deep roots of the tree. It understands the intention you have set to find peace, to trust in love, and to rest in your own enoughness. And as you sleep, it will begin its magical work. While your conscious mind rests, your subconscious will be busy weaving these new truths into the fabric of your being. It will be gently loosening the old, tight knots of worry and replacing them with the smooth, strong threads of acceptance and trust. It will be like a team of silent, gentle healers working through the night to repair and restore your emotional landscape. They will be pruning away the old stories of less than and watering the newly planted seeds of self-worth. You do not need to supervise this work. You do not need to direct it. Your only task is to surrender to sleep, to provide the quiet, dark, and peaceful space where this deep, internal healing can occur. Trust in this process. Your body knows how to heal a physical wound while you sleep. In the very same way, your soul knows how to heal these emotional aches when you give it the gift of deep, untroubled rest. Our language now will become slower, softer, more spaced out. Each word is a gentle stepping stone, leading you further away from the shore of wakefulness and deeper into the calm, quiet ocean of sleep. Let each word be a soft whisper, a gentle touch, guiding you down, 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 into a state of profound peace. Feel your body becoming heavier. so heavy and relaxed. Feel the mattress beneath you as a cloud of pure support, holding you completely, allowing every muscle to let go, every fiber to release. Let your attention drift to your breathing, without changing it at all. Simply notice the gentle rhythm, the soft rise, and the easy fall of your chest. Your breath is the tide, coming in and going out, so effortlessly, so peacefully. Each wave of your breath washes away a little more of the day, a little more thought, a little more tension. The tide is going out, carrying with it everything you no longer need to hold, drifting, floating on these gentle waves of breath. Any lingering thoughts that appear in your mind now are like small, fluffy clouds drifting lazily across a vast blue sky. You don't need to cling to them. You don't need to follow them. Simply notice them and let them drift on by. Your mind is becoming as vast and open as the summer sky. So much space, so much peace, so much quiet. There is nothing important to think about right now, nothing at all. Any thought that arises is simply a distant cloud passing by, leaving behind only the clear, peaceful blue of your own quiet mind. You are safe. You are held. You are deeply, deeply cared for. The day is complete. It is now in the past. There is nothing you can do to change it, and nothing you need to prepare for the future. The only moment that exists is this one, this peaceful, gentle, quiet moment on the edge of sleep. And in this moment, all is well. Everything is okay. You have done enough. You have been enough. You are enough. And now, it is time for the deepest rest, the restorative rest that your body and your soul have been longing for. Allow yourself to receive this gift. You are so worthy of this peace. You're so worthy of this rest. Let go now. Just let go and drift. Drifting now into a space of pure and gentle rest. Imagine your awareness is a single, soft feather released from a high place, floating gently down through the quiet air. It turns and spirals, so slowly, so effortlessly, catching the soft currents of the night. There is no resistance, no effort, only a gentle surrender to the journey downward, deeper and deeper, into perfect peace. The feather floats past all thought, past all concern, past all sense of who you are or what you need to do. It is just a gentle, floating presence, moving toward the soft, welcoming ground of deep sleep. Imagine a gentle tide of warm, liquid peace, beginning at the very tips of your toes. Feel it slowly, softly, washing up over your feet, dissolving any tension, any weariness. This gentle tide of peace flows over your ankles, up into your calves and shins, a warm, heavy, deeply relaxing sensation. Every muscle it touches, it soothes. Every cell it washes over, it restores. The tide of peace flows up into your knees and over your thighs, your legs becoming so heavy, so limp, so completely at rest, sinking down into the mattress, into a state of profound calm. The warm, healing tide continues to rise, flowing into your hips, your pelvis, your lower back, releasing all the tension of the day, letting go of all the effort of holding yourself up. It fills your belly with a gentle, soothing warmth, a sense of deep inner safety. Everything is quiet. Everything is calm. The tide washes up through your chest, around your heart, a feeling of spaciousness and ease. Your shoulders, which carried so much, are now completely released, sinking back, melting into the support beneath you. All burdens have been set down. The gentle tide of peace flows down your arms, past your elbows, into your wrists, and out through the palms of your hands and the tips of your fingers, washing away anything you are still holding on to. Your hands are open, soft, and at peace, and the tide flows up through your neck, into your jaw, allowing it to soften and release. It soothes the tiny muscles around your eyes and smooths the space between your brows. Your entire face is soft, calm, serene. Finally, this warm liquid peace flows over your entire head, quieting your mind, like a gentle hand stroking your brow, telling you to rest. Your entire body is now held in this ocean of peace, floating, safe, and completely at ease. You are cherished. This is a truth deeper than any thought. You are cherished not for what you do, but for who you are. Your existence is a gift to this world. Your unique life story is a thread that is woven into the great, beautiful tapestry of humanity. And the tapestry would be incomplete without you. You are valuable. Your worth is inherent and unchangeable. It does not rise or fall based on the attention or approval of others. It is a constant, steady light within you. It has been there since the day you were born, and it will be there always. It is the core of your being. You are deeply loved. You are loved by the people in your life in ways both spoken and unspoken. And you are loved by life itself. You are a beloved part of this universe, held in a great cosmic embrace of care. Feel this cherishing, this value, this love, not as ideas, but as a felt reality. Let it be the atmosphere you breathe as you drift off to sleep. And now, it is time to rest. Time to let the final threads of consciousness dissolve into the deep, dark, healing waters of sleep. There is nothing more to hear, nothing more to do. The journey is over. The harbor is reached. Let the gentle waves rock you now. Let the silence hold you. You are cherished. You are valuable. You are deeply loved. And now, it is time to rest.